Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Think Tank Sports. Think Tank Sports, where we think and you listen, and some of us dress up in costumes. But we'll get there eventually. Yeah. So, what the heck do we do? Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Listen to us on Spotify for podcasters or wherever you get your podcasts, and watch us on YouTube because we're still doing that YouTube thing, picking up some interest there. So keep watching, folks. We enjoy that, and we enjoy putting on the show for you. And some of us more than others, Mike. But yes, so we are back for, is this week two? Yes, week two
I
of
was
our
debating that. We can get into that.
popular segment in its second year now, Lose With Us. And we've got Stevie Covers, of course, with us, our resident sharp, to help us through and track our success or failures. Mostly, well, this year is going to be a different year, apparently. So, Stevie, how the heck are you tonight?
I am doing great. How are you gentlemen doing?
Good. Good.
Outstanding.
Excellent. Yeah, we've got a little college football going on right now, a little Friday night college football. Mike's Giants took a pounding on Thursday night football. So looking forward to it. We've got a great slate of college football games this Saturday.
And do we
really
ever.
Good, some really interesting NFL games this week too.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Let's get into it, Stevie. So what did we do? How did we lose with us this last week?
Yeah. Well, before we get into that, Mike, how are you?
Oh, Steve, thanks for the acknowledgement. Appreciate you. Yes. Well, greetings, gentlemen, or Talo Salava, as they say in America, Samoa. So I just wanted to say good evening and looking forward to a great podcast. Let's get into it, Steve. How did we do last week?
Well, all three of us went 2-2 last week. So, they say if you go 50% in gambling, then you're ahead of the average. So, I guess we're all above average. Let's see. The big winner last week was Mike. Even though you went 2-2, you allocated your units smartly and came out ahead 29.4 units for the week. I came in second place, came out just shy of 13 units ahead for the week. And Dave, the big loser, down 4.5 units for the week.
Ouch.
Yeah, we each went 2-2. I won on the Dolphins -3 and the James Cook receiving yards bet, which Dave said was a layup, and it was.
And it was very early on.
Yep. Lost on my Jahmyr Gibbs combined rushing and receiving yards, and my Florida State bet, which even as I was saying it, I said that's a tough place to play, and I still bet. Davey Covers won on his Syracuse bet and the Colorado State first quarter over.
28 points in the first quarter in that, so that was nice.
And then scoring pretty much stopped until overtime.
Yes.
From there. Yeah.
Yep.
Mike won on the Ravens money line and on Denny Dimes 2+ passing touchdowns.
Wasn't sweating that one at all.
Yeah. Dave lost Lions -4.5. Both of you gentlemen lost on the Jets. 9.5. Yeah. I tried to warn you. And then stop me if you've heard this before. Mike's parlay was, dramatic pause, unsuccessful.
Boy, they tried to get there, and the parlay didn't include the alternate line of 39.5. So you could have maybe pushed on that, but what are you going to do? Well, gentlemen, let's get this week started. Week 2 or week 3. Didn't we do like a futures podcast?
Oh, yeah, we did.
I don't know what you want to call this.
Yeah, this is week 3.
Right.
Sure.
Thank you.
Why not?
Appreciate that. Well, I'm going to kick it off with Stir the Echoes, boys. Cue up the band. Home of one of the greatest Samoan American players in the history of football. Manti Te'o, of course, the king of catfish. We're getting Notre Dame +3. Are you kidding me? Against an Ohio State team that's really not looked impressive. I'm not sold on the quarterback at all. And I think that Notre Dame with the point at night, I just excited to see this game, but really think this is a spot for them to step up.
All right, how many units are you doing on Notre Dame getting?
Oh, I'm going to do 20 units on that. Excuse me.
20 units. So I was smiling pretty much the whole time you were delivering that, Mike. And the reason for that is I imagined you taking Notre Dame and saying that Ohio State has been unimpressive, and that's exactly what you did. So it made me smile. But yeah, no, like this is the game that they got Sam Hartman for, right? Like this is what they want to see out of that kid. So I'll be watching it closely. I do like that pick, Mike. So I'm a little surprised you only went 20.
Well, you don't know how good my other ones are. Yeah. It might be worth looking up a future Heisman right now for Sam Hartman if you're into future bets, because I think if he does pull off the win and has a strong game, he'll vault right towards the top. So
entirely possible. And Manti Te'o still looking for his girlfriend.
Yeah. Aren't we all?
Look it up if you don't remember that. Yeah. So my first game, I'm going ACC. What a surprise. What was billed at the beginning of the season as the biggest game in the ACC, the Florida State Seminoles going down to Clemson. And Clemson not playing all that well, Florida State squeaking out against Boston College, as Stevie Covers mentioned. Florida State -2. That seems like a layup to me. So I am taking Florida State -2, and I am throwing 30 units at that. I think, maybe a little bit of a wake-up call against Boston College. This is the game I think that Florida State had circled when their season started. So I think they're going to be up for this. Even though it's on the road, I'm taking the Seminoles.
Yeah, again, a very tough place to play. But Florida State's just better. They're just better than Clemson.
Right.
So yeah, I like that one too, Dave.
How long does the Clemson respect tax stay on these lines? Is this like this is it? If they get beat handily by Florida State, will they, or are they always going to carry as long as Dabo's there? Steve, you're shaking your head.
Yeah, no, I think it'll wear off, but I don't think this is the game. I think Florida State's good enough that Clemson will still get the benefit of the doubt, even if they get rolled. They'll have to lose to
another bad loss.
Yeah, they'll have to lose to Virginia Tech.
Virginia 0-3 right now.
Yeah. All right, where are we, boys? Is it Steve or we're back around to me?
Yep. Nope, Stevie.
Yeah, it's my turn. And like I mentioned, lots of really big spotlight games in college football this week. And what am I doing? I'm betting on a Friday night game between San Jose State and the Air Force Academy. It has not started yet.
No, it has not started yet.
At the time of this recording. Yeah. So I'm going to take San Jose State. They're a 6-point underdog. I'm taking them to win outright. A plus 190 money line on San Jose State.
Nice.
Air Force has struggled to score this season unless they're playing Robert Morris, which they are not in this game. San Jose State has looked pretty good against some pretty big time opponents. They hung in there with Oregon State. Air Force has only played one road game this season. This will be their second one, and the last one was a 13-3 rock fight against perennial powerhouse Sam Houston State. I don't think they should be favored by. So Air Force shouldn't be favored over any Division I college, I don't think.
And on the road, nonetheless.
Yep. So
I was trying to think why you had such deep Air Force knowledge, but they're right in your backyard, right?
They're in my backyard. Yep.
Yeah.
So we pay attention to them.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah. And
I like that a lot.
The over-under is only 45.5. So I think that's playing into, like you're saying, Steve, Air Force really can't score. So yeah, what the heck? Take San Jose State to win outright. Why not?
Yeah. Plus 190 for 30 units. And fun fact, when I was looking at the Air Force Sam Houston game, the one from a couple weeks ago, Do you guys know what the Sam Houston State mascot is?
Oh, jeez. It's a
No.
it's a person, isn't it?
It is not a person. They're the Bearcats spelled with a K.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. Not cool.
All right, cool.
I'll move
on. Moving
from that
on.
embarrassing moment I just had, and go over to the NFL. And this is the team, apparently, boys, I'm going to chase all year, because when I look at their games, I'm enamored with the New Orleans Saints, apparently. So I'm just going to take the Saints +2 against Green Bay. I do not think Jordan Love is been as good as he's been getting some credit for. I mean, incredible line, incredible running game, even with Aaron Jones out, and a very, very good defense at Green Bay. But I just think that Saints defense is equally as strong. So
yes, I agree.
I like the Saints getting to. Of course, they also have American Samoan hero, number 45. Say it with me if you would. Nefi Sewell from the University of Utah. So another just reason on top of everything else for the Saints at 30 units, gentlemen, on this.
Wow.
One.
I'm sensing a theme, Mike.
Oh, really? Am I laying it on thick enough for you?
I'm just picking up on it now.
Yes, Mike, you are laying it on thick.
Oh.
All right. Dave, what's your next pick?
Okay, I'm gonna go to the SEC. One of the big games there is Mississippi at Alabama. Alabama can't seem to get their quarterback situation together. Favored by 7 at home. This probably is not the best bet, but I'm just feeling like Alabama's going to struggle a bit. So I'm going to take Mississippi plus the 7 there in Alabama and 20 units on that one. I just feel like that game's going to be closer than 7 points.
I almost considered Mississippi money line. I really think that Alabama's further down than we're even saying. Especially at the quarterback position. It's a nightmare right now for them.
Yep.
So I like that a lot, Dave.
Oh, thank you.
Steven?
Yeah, they've already rolled out 3 different starting quarterbacks, I think. And yeah, it looks like trouble in Tuscaloosa. But then again, every time we've thought that in the past 15 years, they pop their heads right back above the water, and they're in the national championship.
And you're putting money on Lane Kiffin also, which doesn't exactly excite me. But
all aboard the Lane train.
All aboard the Lane train.
Yes.
All right, get me out of that one now. Steve.
Yep. Stevie, what do you got?
All right, I am betting on the Chicago Bears.
Oh no.
Or should I say, I'm betting on a Chiefs player to score against the Chicago Bears.
Oh, okay.
Yes. The Bears are, how do we say this? Awful, and they're really giving it up on the ground. We can get Isaiah Pacheco to score a touchdown, rushing or receiving, at plus money. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to take Isaiah Pacheco to score a touchdown plus 135 for 30 units against the lowly Chicago Bears.
And that's just a touchdown. So rushing or receiving doesn't matter one way or the other. Yeah, that sounds like a good one to me.
Check out our NFL podcast. We'll record on Monday, but if our fans or you guys get a chance, look up what's been going on with the Bears defensive coordinator this week, and some crazy rumors about Alex Hall getting invaded by the FBI, and Peanut Tillman is in the FBI, and he's like the one. It's crazy. But we'll talk about that some other time. Since you mentioned the Bears, I couldn't ignore saying that.
Yeah, for sure.
Where are we at now?
Solid drop, Mike. We are at your next pick.
So, as Steve rightly noted, my messy parlay last week didn't hit And so what am I going to do this week? I'm going to double down. I got 2 of them left. And I'll hit you with the first one. These same game parlays are intriguing to me, I guess. And when I've got Broncos at the Dolphins, and I've got Dolphins money line and the over alternate line of 48.5. I think there's a lot of points to be had here. I'm going to do that for 30 units. Of course, you have American Samoan hero Tua Donnie Tungavailoa at quarterback, and just an incredible arsenal. I know Jalen Waddle is banged up, but it looks like he's playing. And if not, they still have plenty of speed on the field. And I know Mike McDonald's the anti-coach, right? He's the exact opposite of every NFL coach ever. But I'm coming into it. He's quirky. I don't know if he's a good coach, but yeah, a good guy. So that's my third pick of the day, boys. React to me.
Do you have odds on that, Mike?
I do. Sorry, I didn't share that. Plus 155.
Oh, okay. All right.
So a little meat.
This game will be interesting. Probably no Jalen Waddle. And we're going to have Patrick Surtain blanketing Tyreek Hill. So theoretically, your bet sounds good. Dolphins money line and a reasonable over. Like on any given week, that could absolutely hit. Sure. But we'll see. We're going to need Russell Wilson to participate too. So
Russell, hustle and bustle should definitely show up. And hey, we're going to get every opportunity to score with Sean Payton. Onside kicks, multiple onside kicks, Hail Marys, all of it. So
yeah, I mean, they did score 33 points against the Commanders last week. So
who has one of the top defenses in the league? By every expert's explanation. Yeah, as
you said, Mike, there are points to be had. I also like this game. But I like it for the reasons of I think Miami is going to win by more than 6.5. They're favored by 6.5. I have to feel like they're at least a touchdown better. They might be begging you to take Denver with the minus 6.5, but I'm taking the Dolphins, or with the plus 6.5. I'm taking the Dolphins minus 6.5, 25 units on the Dolphins.
Yeah. I like it. I have to like it based on what I've just said the last 5 minutes.
Yes,
Steve?
Yes, you do.
Yeah, I mean, so far, is there an AFC team that's looked better than the Miami Dolphins so far this year?
No, yeah. And they've kept Tua clean, which is obviously a concern every play, but so far so good.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. All right. I am going to David's Buffalo Bills.
Oh boy.
Okay.
I found a Josh Allen prop that I liked, and it's a simple one. Just Josh Allen to throw for 300 plus yards, which he has not done yet this season. But it's paying 2-1 plus 200 on this prop.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, Commanders defense has been much heralded. 300 yards passing against that team can be a challenge, but this feat was accomplished last week by Russell
Wilson. Mm-hmm.
So I do think that the Bills offense is better than the Broncos offense, and at 2-1 odds, I couldn't pass this up. So Josh Allen, 300 yards, 20 units plus 200.
Yeah. Hey, look, I'm a Bills fan. I'm all for it. I think you're onto something there.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Josh Allen's throwing the ball around. I'm all for it too. And I know Dave will be just for scoring purposes. So.
Just for scoring purposes, yes.
So, gentlemen, my last bet, I'm going back to college. Anyone want to guess where I'm going? Any of you brain surgeons?
Well, I've liked your parlays so far, Mike, but I really need Samoa.
Oh.
Steven's on board, Dave.
Oh, I guess Hawaii, but I was thinking USC for some strange reason. I don't know.
No, well, you might both be off. I might surprise you then. The University of Maryland has a young American Samoan quarterback. In fact, the younger brother of Tua Tagovailoa, Talia Tagovailoa, in his 19th season at the University of Maryland. A lot of weapons on the field, going against a Michigan State team that is as embarrassed off the field as anybody right now in college football. Mel Tuck coming and then Tuck leaving because he was definitely having some issues there. Whatever, doesn't matter. He's gone. And this has got to be disheartening to the program. So I'm going to take the same game parlay plus 135, gentlemen, for 20 units, Maryland money line, and over alternate line of 52.5, over 52.5. Maryland's going to light it up. If I can get 14 out of Michigan State, I think I'm in good shape. Anybody?
Yeah, I don't have.
First, is that where you thought I was? Did you think that's where I was going?
I didn't know where you were going to go. I knew there was going to be Samoa something or other, but
I'm glad. I wanted to fool both of you, so my night is complete.
Yes, you have done that.
Yeah, you made a fool out of us is what you've done.
Yes. Made a fool out of us. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exactly. That is exactly what you've
done.
If
anyone was watching, cultural appropriation could be thrown on the field. So let's get out of here. Keep going, boys. Dave, right? Your last pick?
Yeah. I've been going back and forth with this, but I think I know where I'm going to land. So one of the two Monday night games, which I just don't understand why, again, we are doing two Monday night games.
They're doing it again in November also, I think. Or something.
Yeah, I mean,
but anyway,
it is what it is. The LA Rams at the Bengals. We still don't know yet about Joe Burrow. He was at practice today, but not sure that he actually practiced. So I'm thinking he's not playing. Plus, even if he is, the Bengals have been awful. And the Rams, quite honestly, have been very surprising. So this is the Rams on the road plus 2.5. I am taking the Rams plus 2.5, 25 units. I just think the Bengals are not very good and the Rams are better.
Yeah, I was such a wimp last week because I loved the Rams plus 7.5 against the Niners, and they lost by 7, which I know it doesn't. A win would have been a win, and I just couldn't pull the trigger for some reason. Now Cam Akers is out of there, so that's interesting. Mm-hmm. He's up in Minnesota, right?
Minnesota. Yep. That seems like a nice fit for him.
Not signing the kid they let go. Delvin Cook, and then trading for Akers, but we'll talk about that on Monday maybe. But no, I think I like the Rams, Dave, so I like where you're going with that.
And Mike, to carry your thread, who's the rookie sensation wide receiver for the Rams?
Noku Okua.
Puka Nacua.
Yeah, him too. Him and his brother Noku. Yeah.
This is going great.
Yeah, please help us, Steve.
Yeah, what do you got for your last pick, Stevie?
Oh man, so the Jets have lost 14 in a row to the Patriots. So I was going to come on here and I was just going to take the Jets money line for the Jets to win. But given the theme that Mike has sprung on us, I have to turn this into a parlay. So I'm going to take the Jets money line. And I'm going to take the over on rushing yards for a Hawaiian player on the Jets, Zachary Kapono Wilson. That's right, Zach Wilson. He's part Hawaiian. He is part Hawaiian. So I'm going to take over 13.5 rushing yards. Why did that annoy you so bad, Dave, that he's Hawaiian?
It just doesn't seem like it's true. That's all.
Dave, guess for me, how many miles between Hawaii and American Samoa? Because I had to look this up today because I was getting them confused.
You're the resident Samoan expert now, so you tell us.
So it's 2,600 miles between. I thought it was much closer.
Miles.
But anyway, I like that, Steve. That's very interesting.
Over 13.5 rushing yards. I think he's probably going to have a couple designed runs in there. Usually ends up scrambling a little bit. So 13.5 seems more than doable. And if you parlay that with the Jets money line, I forget what the number was on that, but they're a 2-point underdog or 2.5-point underdog.
Mm-hmm.
You end up getting plus 238 on that parlay. So I'll do 20 units on the JETS.
Excellent.
Yeah, and that is a Tony Romo and Jim Nantz 2 weeks in a row with the Jets. Are you serious? There's so many other games. I'm really surprised that they put them on the Patriots and the Jets, but what the heck do I know? I just do a podcast. So
And I'm sure on your NFL podcast, you guys talk about, the Jets defense giving up 30 points to the Cowboys, and they're supposed to be one of the best defenses in the NFL. And that's all I've heard that's all I've heard from the media. But right, so the Jets turned the ball over 4 times in the second half, and what did the Cowboys get from it? 4 field goals. So that 30 points is a little misleading. The defense actually held up pretty well.
I can get behind that for sure.
Yeah, that's fair. I'd also say too, like, they played one of the best offenses in the league in the Cowboys. So, they're bound to give up some yards and some points. But giving up field goals instead of touchdowns, defenses will take, and defensive coordinators smile when that happens.
Some would say Steve was hiding behind the safest unit to defend on the team and not talking about the offense. Some are saying, I'm not saying that, Steve, but some are saying. Dave, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. No, we're all good here. But yeah, so there are our picks for, as Mike appropriately found out, week 3 of Lose With Us. We hope you like them. We hope you, I don't know, take our information and run with it, or run in the opposite direction, whatever you feel is appropriate here, based on our expertise or lack thereof here on our Lose With Us segment. But we look forward to continuing this week after week and presenting you with fun facts, ideas, and costumes and themes, sponsored by Mike. But again, we appreciate you listening, and keep checking us out on the socials, and listen to us and add us. Mike always says don't add us. No, add us. So we know what you think about our picks here with Lose With Us, with Stevie Covers and Mike. We thank you so much for listening here at Think Tank Sports, where we think and you listen as we strive for 5. Have a good night, everybody.